The camera was running because of the cat, not because of anything the cat did to prompt them to install it, because of a series of incidents over several months in which things in the house had been moved or disturbed in ways that neither Ivan nor Claudette could account for. And they had decided that either they had a cat with unusual behavioral interests, or they had a rodent problem, and the camera was going to tell them which. What the camera showed them was neither. What the camera showed them over the course of the first week was the cat named Pebble doing something very specific at approximately 2 in the morning on 4 out of 7 nights, going to the small storage closet in the hallway, sitting in front of it, and pressing her paw repeatedly against the door. Not scratching, not the demanding claw-extended scratch of a cat requesting entry to a space that has been denied. Pressing. The flat of the paw push of a cat that is doing something with intention. Ivan watched the footage in the kitchen with his coffee and said, "She wants in the closet." Claudette said, "She has never been in the closet. We have never let her in the closet." He said, "She wants in it now." The closet was where the gas line entered the house before running to the kitchen. It was also where the house's original hot water pipe junction was, unchanged since the house was built in 1967. They called a plumber. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. The plumber found what he described, with professional understatement, as a developing situation in the pipe junction. A fitting that had been corroding for an extended period and had reached a stage where the integrity of the connection was compromised. He replaced the fitting. He noted that the leak, when it occurred, and it was going to occur, the question had been when, would have been a significant water event in the interior of the house, behind the closet wall, with the potential to involve the electrical conduit that ran in the same wall cavity. He said someone caught this early. Claudette said, "The cat caught it." He looked at her. She showed him the footage. He watched Pebble at the closet door at 2 in the morning, 4 nights in a row, pressing her paw with the quiet determination of a cat that has decided something needs to happen and is providing whatever pressure she can bring to bear on it. He said, "How long has she been doing this?" Claudette said, "At least a week, possibly longer before we installed the camera." He said, "That fitting has been deteriorating for at least 3 months by the look of it." He paused. He said, "She probably heard it. Deteriorating metal pipe makes sounds below human hearing threshold, micro-fracture vibration, pressure differential at the corrosion points. Cats hear well above and below our range." He said, "She was telling you." He said it as a statement, not a theory. Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Ivan asked whether he saw this often. The plumber said, "I see pets near plumbing problems more than people expect." He said they live closer to the walls than we do. Their ears work differently. He said, "I've had 3 calls in the past 2 years where the owner's first description was the dog won't stop going to this corner, or the cat keeps sitting at this wall." He said all 3 had actual problems. He said, "Your cat's track record is better than some of my customers' CO detectors." They bought a water leak detection system after the plumber left. Sensors at floor level near all the major pipe junctions, linked to a phone app. They also moved Pebble's bed closer to the hallway, which had been her choice anyway, and which was now ratified as a good choice. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Claudette watched the camera footage from the previous week again after the plumber left. She watched Pebble at the closet door in the 2 a.m. quiet of a house where everyone was asleep, pressing her paw against the door with the specific patience of something that understood that the action needed to be repeated until someone understood what it meant. She thought about the things in the house that had been moved or disturbed over the months, the items displaced near the closet that she had attributed to cat curiosity. She thought about the timeline, about 3 months of pipe deterioration and 1 week of camera footage and what had been happening in the weeks before the camera. She thought Pebble had probably been doing something about this since before they were watching. The camera had simply made the watching mutual. Ivan asked her, "Do you think she knew what was wrong?" She said, "I think she knew something was wrong in that wall, at that location, for long enough that she developed a specific behavior for communicating it." He said, "And we installed the camera for the wrong reason." She said, "We installed it for the right reason. We just had the wrong explanation for why." Pebble was on the kitchen counter, which was not permitted, eating something she had found near the cutting board, which was also not permitted. Claudette looked at her. She said, "No." Pebble looked at her. Then she finished what she was eating and walked off the counter and went to the hallway. Claudette watched her go. She thought about 4 nights at 2 in the morning, and a paw pressed against a door and a woman who had finally looked at the footage with her morning coffee. She thought, communication is only half the process. The other half is someone paying attention.